This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 871. Radio Free Cybertron is the world's first and oldest toy and action figure podcast. We've been around since 1999. And you can take a drink because I just bought something. I'm Brian Kilby. With me this week, we have Chris.
You know, you can take a drink because I just bought something. I'm Brian Kilby is basically just the summary of your life for the last 15 years.
Yeah. I did get the Transformers Kush ball, which we'll talk about later. Kush, there it is. Now we can. That can be the show title now.
Yeah, no, that's still not going to be the show title.
No, I don't think it should be.
Okay,
No.
I think it should.
You're outvoted.
Don,
Hello.
Rob.
Oh, well.
That cast is in Florida. He left Disney to be here.
I'm also going to buy some stuff soon, and I'm going to drive to Don's house and place them all over his house, in his car, like in the glove box.
Worst
I just want
ever.
Yeah.
I just want him to find these.
Okay, let's just talk about this. Diecast has been texting me all evening about this news. Today, I don't even know. I don't even remember where, but somebody found the Core Class Beast Machines Cheetor.
Singapore.
Okay.
Did we even know about this even existing?
Yes.
We knew about it.
Okay.
We knew
about
that it was
a
coming.
year.
Yeah, we knew that it was coming.
Okay. All right. I couldn't remember.
But this is our first chance seeing it.
It looks exactly like what I expected.
It does. It's a
Beautiful.
Core Class Cheetor.
Yeah, it's
Beast
Core Class
Machines.
Beast Machines Cheetor. There's not a whole lot of iteration you can do on that idea.
And for people
See,
who
you say it's a core class Beast Machines Cheetor. I say it's a core class Beast Machines Supreme Cheetor.
Yeah, there you go. So for people just joining us, Don hates Supreme Cheetor.
Yes.
I don't know
I
why
s-
he hates it. He has
For
this
those-
irrational hatred of it.
For those who weren't born in time for this, Supreme Cheetor was when the Beast Machines line was originally out in the year 2000, long ago before some of our audience was actually alive.
But we've been doing the show longer than that.
Yeah, we have, which just makes everything worse. But yeah, they released Cheetor at various price points because Cheetor was the headline character for that segment of the brand at that time. He was on all the packaging and
Bumblebee.
everything.
He
Yeah.
was the Bumblebee.
Yeah, they were
Yes.
trying to make him Bumblebee before Bumblebee was a thing. And they released a $40 gigantic toy of Cheetor, which pretty universally is despised, and Don in particular has a great hatred for that thing, and I can't really blame him. And that's been a running joke on the show for at least the last 10 years.
Yeah.
That's why basically I said I would channel anyone that sends me one of these. I would channel my inner Yzma, and I will smash it with a hammer, because that's what I did to my Supreme Cheetor. I took it to the landfill. I had a hammer in my truck. I laid it on the concrete, and I smashed it into about 20,000 pieces.
We've tried to convince Don, if he does get some Core Class Cheetors in the mail, to put them aside and donate them at the end of the year for Toys for Tots.
So once it's available, I will set up a link where people can buy that, and it will go to Don. That
And then he
will
can-
happen.
Yes.
You will have no control over that. That is a great way for somebody out there to help out with Toys for Tots.
Mhm.
And also, I will.
Okay,
put a-
I will-
I'll put a referral link on that one as well, and
I
we'll get
will
like
do-
10 cents back per toy.
I will do that for Toys for Tots. Although those kids have been through enough as it is. They don't need more.
Like I
but-
always say that, anything we do for Toys for Tots, I do not take referral fees off of. That will do referral fees on.
It's only indirectly for Toys for Tots.
Yeah. It's for Don's frustration more than anything.
I love it though. It's such a it's an iconic
Well,
figure from
Diecast. Would you love it or even remotely care about it if not for this whole Don nonsense? This whole Don sense about it.
Don sense.
No, not as much.
This
no.
cheese-
Yeah,
Cheetor
that's what I
nonsense.
thought.
I mean, you look on the back of the
Show
package,
title.
it'll be 4 steps. Lay down, turn head, flip out tail, done.
Throw away.
Pretty
Isn't
much.
that what
Wait.
Supreme
Five
Cheetor did?
Yeah.
No, 5
Yeah.
steps, reattach body parts.
Mm.
Yeah. It's a tiny Cheetor. That's the news.
And I said this in pre-show that I am not a fan of Beast Machines, but I know it's time for it to start getting some love and legacy. If you like Beast Machines, I am glad you're getting figures, and I hope you enjoy them.
I
I-
liked Beast Machine Season 2 at the time. I bet if I go back and watch it, it's actually probably pretty good. I have not gone back to watch Beast Machines.
Yeah, even season 1 is pretty okay. The pacing on it remains terrible.
Yeah, the pacing is absolutely. I've seen Kamen Rider shows get to the point faster than Beast Machines.
Yeah.
Beast Machines.
I've never seen it.
What?
I've never seen Beast
I'm
Machines.
not really surprised.
You know how dumb the fandom is sometimes now. It started actually it started before Beast Machines, but like the fandom was like just completely all out of sorts because of Beast Machines. Like,
yeah, it was actually genuinely embarrassing to be around that.
The writer of the showrunner got death threats.
Legitimately got death
Legitimate
threats over
death
it.
threats. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is, we're not hyperbolizing at all. That literally actually happened.
That's crazy.
Brian?
Yeah.
JT Prime just posted something in the Discord that I don't think is in the show notes unless I missed it.
I think that's new.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Okay. Let's
Breaking
JT Prime,
news.
yeah, JT Prime has dubbed this leak week.
Yeah.
I love
So-
having JT Prime in our Discord. By the way, he's
Yeah. Oh,
always,
yeah.
He's always a great source of information. He shares things after, so that we see them and we can mention them in the show.
So the thing he just posted, I'm gonna read off the article here in part. So we had two things from yesterday, maybe the day before, which we'll get to shortly. But the newest drops here. Arrival for the upcoming Commander 86 Optimus Prime. A listing has been found for Studio Series 86 Megatron. Going to be a leader class. Of course, we don't know anything about the alt mode yet.
Yeah.
Tank, I'm sure.
Not a submarine.
Yeah, probably.
That would be great.
You
for the
know,
submarine.
if it looks like G1 Megatron and turns into a tank,
You have Combiner Wars.
I'm okay with
Megatron.
that. I'm just saying
Yeah.
I'm okay with that because as long as it like gives me that 86 feel, you know, in robot mode that I can put next to my Commander Optimus Prime that we're all going to be buying, perfectly acceptable.
Yeah.
I mean, we know they can get pretty close because I mean, look at all the Siege Megatron releases.
Yeah.
Like that robot mode is pretty accurate to the original cartoon with just a little bit of tank stuff hanging off
Yeah.
them, which they can hide given the right budget.
Price point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing that is in this drop is Studio Series 86 Leader Class Galvatron.
Was there a packaging refresh here?
No,
What?
just Studio Series Leader 86
We just
Galvatron.
got a Galvatron.
Yeah, it's about to say
A really good one.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
finally got a really good Galvatron. I really don't feel
That's-
like we need another pass on this.
No, and it's still everywhere on the shelves.
Beast Wars second Galvatron?
No,
Wait, the Studio Series 86. No, I guess.
Yeah. Now remember, this is for the 2025 product year, so by that point, maybe the legacy Galvatrons will have been off the shelf for 6 or 8 weeks.
They'll give him a throne.
Sorry. No,
I
no,
mean,
the throne's too expensive.
I mean, they could do the magma, the Japanese colors for this release.
Yeah, they could definitely tweak some colors.
Then it wouldn't be 86.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm just saying if it,
Diecast is right. If
that's
it's
true.
86, it's got to be.
The
Yeah, actually, I
So-
guess the one we have now is pretty close color wise to what it should be. So
well, yeah. The thing with that is that this toy is a little bit more like grape than it should be. It should be, for animation accuracy, shifted a little bit more to the blue.
Mhm.
But that's such a minor difference
For,
to base the whole release
for
on.
Studio Series 86, since this is specifically the movie, one difference is he's not crazy.
Yeah.
Okay,
Put a different face on him.
Am I
Yeah.
wrong to say with the 86 figures, I feel like it has to be a complete redesign? Like it can't just be a slight remold of what we've had on the shelf for 2 years.
I mean, the one we've had on the shelf for 2 years is pretty close to what it should be.
It's pretty
At the
excellent.
at the same time, we are getting a leader class Springer in Studio Series 86, and Siege Springer, Deco aside, was, pretty damn close to what a Springer should be. So like they're iterating on that, and I wouldn't be surprised entirely to see a new take on Galvatron done, even though, yeah, I agree, it doesn't really need to.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could get the legs closer to animation, but God, that'd be a pain to transform.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just like looking at a screenshot of Galvatron's animation model and looking at the Kingdom version, or no, the Legacy version of the toy, like it's hard to even think like if they wanted to just do like retools and then re-release the toy in Studio Series packaging with a deco tweak, like it's still hard to see what they could really do to make it be that much different from what already exists.
Because we've got the original Galvatron, then we got the non-battle damage version. We
Yeah.
got the Gridline Galvatron that was the Hasbro Pulse
Toy
transition
version.
exclusive.
We got the Galvatron 2.
Yeah.
The comic, which means we may not get one in this new comic series we talked about last week. So unless it's accessories that we can't think of right now, I don't really know what you're right. It's what can you do to make it worth buying again?
I mean, if you give him like posable hands and then you make an accessory of the little handheld trigger thing he had in the Ultimate Weapon, that's an extra accessory he could have. The thing he threatens Rodimus Prime with the whole episode.
You don't have an Ultimate Weapon Galvatron, so that wouldn't work.
They could actually make the Matrix have a real chain instead of a plastic.
I mean, I'm trying to think like what could they do, and
Not much.
not much.
No, there isn't. There's not very much to do. Like, it's a credit to the team that designed Kingdom Galvatron. They did a damn near perfect job with it already.
Yeah.
And even we're baffled of how they could actually like improve or meaningfully iterate laterally on it even.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if they do make these changes, we'll be like, oh, that's what they did.
Yeah.
Because you with this design team, you never know what they're going to pull out of their ears.
Mhm.
Okay, what else? What other leaks do we have? It's leak week.
Yeah, okay, let's go over to some of the previous ones here. So
Something
we'll
to
go,
make Matt very happy.
Yeah, we'll go to the prior Studio Series 2025 listings. So the main feature of this is the Constructicons.
Voyagers.
No,
Voyagers
not
and
all of them.
Deluxes.
Yeah.
Wait, which ones are deluxes?
Bone Crusher and Scavenger are deluxes. The arms,
Oh,
Okay, I could kind of see that.
Mixmaster and Scrapper are Voyagers, and we don't know anything about Hook or Long Haul yet.
Hook might be a leader. I'm not sure about the veracity of that.
I would think Hook might get away with being one of the smaller ones.
I mean, you'd
Long
kind
Haul
of
would have
think
to
it.
be big.
But if the arms are deluxes, to me that implies that the combiner's arms are going to be part of like an overall structure that could come out of Hook instead then, and they plug onto that, which would explain size class bump up.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, I
Hook will
sincerely
be-
doubt the lower arms are going to be part of the Scavenger and
Yeah, not at the deluxe price.
Yeah, so Hook will be part of the leader class being Voyager with a lot of extra parts pattern, I'm betting.
Yeah, and also
arms could be something that are carried around by Long Haul.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say, because
Yeah.
Long Haul was always shown to be like carrying something, so you could have black cargo boxes that you can put in the back of Long Haul, which unfold into the Devastator hands.
Well, and that's kind of what they had you doing with Combiner Wars Devastator, like the forearm
they were
pieces.
missile racks.
Yeah, they were supposed to be in Long Haul's truck bed, if I remember right.
I believe so, because I remember something like that too.
All the spare parts were,
Yeah.
So it's going to be new molds, which also means that eventually we'll get some sort of repaint, and it'll be the orange.
I hope.
Devastator.
Yeah.
But it won't be, and it's also going to take like 2 years to complete your Devastator.
That's
probably.
fine.
So since there are 6 of them, and we only have 4 here.
Well, selects, that'll be a box set or something, and it'll be orange.
Oh yeah, that would be that could be a Titan. they might do that at a Titan price point
buy that, Hasbro.
yeah. You know,
I
let's say
doubt they do that though. I think we could probably hope for like another box set like we got with Menasor though.
yeah.
It'd be expensive with
At
Voyagers
the
mixed in. But
169 to 189 for all 6 in a custom box.
Yeah. If they make it in yellow or orange, I'll buy either one.
I want orange.
I'll still get.
I don't know that I'll
Yeah.
get yellow.
I'll still get the green one just to have a
Brian, Tonkinator.
I'm not super in love with Tonkinator. I own it. I'm going to hold it forever. But like I don't love Tonkinator.
You just need a better
I would
version
like
of it to love
I
it.
would love Tonkinator more if I had fiction to sort of say this is when this happens. You know, just that
How
would
much
make
more
me happy.
fiction do you need?
I want all the
Did you have
fiction.
Tonka vehicles?
I want all the fiction.
You don't need fiction for this particular item. I understand fiction is very important, but not for this item.
Instead of just repainting those, I would like to see them do something else with remolds of Constructicons. Like Scrapper and Scoop have pretty much the same transformation scheme, same vehicle mode. Mix Master and Quick Mix, same vehicle mode, pretty much the same transformation scheme.
Let's do it.
Yeah, give us our double target masters.
Mm-hmm.
Pull a couple more names that you need to reuse out, slap them on the other 3, and give us another Autobot combiner.
You might get even get long haul into another landfill.
Put
possibly.
a turret on any of them. Call it Quake. We're done.
Hmm.
No. Okay.
Still though, there's only 4 of them on this list of leaks, but that's still 2/3 of Devastator for sure coming out in one product here. Like that's good progress they're trying to make on this. And Bonecrusher and Scavenger's product numbers are 1 removed. So like they're either in the same wave together or in adjoining waves. So like it's not going to be, you get this part here, then you wait like 8 months for the next ones to come out. It's not going to be like the movie
This looks like a pretty complete year-round list though, and I only see 4.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking that the other 2 were probably 2026 figures.
Hey, if we live that long, that's great.
I was going to say, I don't even know if I'm going to be around that
year and
long.
a half though. I mean, come on.
Yeah,
They're bad enough waiting for Menasor.
I do wish that we got them in a quicker, tighter package, but hey, I'm just happy.
Yeah, like you could
them.
have with the HasLab. Just saying. I don't know.
There is one thing I just thought of sitting here. We've got 4 construction vehicles that turn into robots. Maybe down the road, there's some engineering in here that they can use for the robots in disguise build team. And we might get down the road, have these as templates for the robots in disguise build team.
Nah.
Those are all pretty different from the original.
Well, I'm just saying, you could probably pull some, Starscream versus, Smokescreen, some similar engineering anyway. It's possible to be, I'm just saying
No, I don't think that's how that works, Don.
Okay. All right.
You have the similar engineering to begin with, not, try to retroactively make it similar engineering. No, Don. No, I'm sorry, Don. No. Anyway, even if it's 18 months to get Devastator together, that's still a fraction of the time you've been waiting to complete the Dinobots, for instance. On which note, after 3 years, we're getting a package refresh of Studio Series 86 Grimlock. So, if you didn't jump on that when the Studio Series Dinobots kicked off back in 2021 or whatever, you've finally got another chance without paying $200 to $300 on the secondary market.
Refresh my memory. Did we get a leak on Swoop for this year?
It's supposed to be.
We haven't seen it yet,
but it's supposed to be April-ish theoretically.
It's a leader.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Which means its wingspan will probably be quite impressive.
Hey, just like the real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chris, on There Goes My Money, y'all were just talking about this last week about the comic Grimlock, and now people can actually get the regular Grimlock if they don't want the Marvel Comics version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, There Goes My Money, the new episode that's in all our Transformers podcast feed, hosted by XV with our patrons, which you can check out now.
Mhm.
It was very good. I can't wait.
And if you're a patron at any tier, you'll have the second episode of that coming out soon. Trademark.
And if you're a patron at the touch tier, you can be on it. Or the next one, not the
But not the one that we recorded last night. That would be
impossible.
If we could figure out how to do that, I would have us add an extra patron tier for, retroactive podcast recording.
Yep. Okay. So there's other things on this leak list. There's a TF7 double punch, which I was pointing out to Chris. I missed that it was TF7, and I was hoping it was the Action Master Elite toy.
It could still be in those colors, though.
Yeah, it could be.
Like if we get that Rise of the Beast Scorponok mold in classic double punch colors, I probably would end up buying that.
Anything else notable in this?
Remember the hatchet that we saw the render for alongside the Earth Mode Hound?
Yeah.
That's in here. For some reason, they're doing further package refreshes of 86 Perceptor and 86 Jazz.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. That's a weird one. Something called Widowmaker from Age of Extinction, which apparently is another concept art piece that wasn't actually in the movie.
Okay.
So concept art in general just seems to be on the table now for Studio Series, which, I mean, I had to expect that they're running out of things quickly.
Age of Extinction also is like scraping the bottom of the barrel. That's about the bottom.
Cinematically or
just in general? In general, it's...
Yeah, I did see some people on our Discord, tfradio.net/Discord, talking about the Widowmaker design after they looked it up, and it seems to be fairly striking at least, so that's something.
Cool. What about this collaborative set?
Yeah, okay, so in the other leaks, we do have an update on the collaborative Project Renaissance, and according to this information, it's exactly what we thought it was, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles party wagon as a Transformer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
What's the price point?
I'm all about that.
I don't know if we have a price point on that.
So if the price point was like Commander Class, that would be amazing. But
yeah.
Anything else is going to be disappointing.
Yeah. I'm hoping we at least get something like in the Voyager range.
Like, for this to be worth a damn to me, I want it to be large. I want it to be huge. Voyager's too small.
Yeah, you want the G.I. Joe and Transformers version.
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For my part, like, when we talked about the possibility of this before, I was saying how the Mutant Mayhem movies Turtle Van was basically a Volkswagen Type 2, which is what Code Red was. So they'd have an easy time just, redressing that some to fit this purpose. I really, really hope if they're doing this, that they're doing it right, and they're going to make it based on the classic toy line party wagon, which was itself based pretty heavily on like the first version Volkswagen van.
Yeah.
But like I want that more iconic, like really boxy, big shape vehicle, not something quite so streamlined like the T2.
Yeah, in our Discord, JT Prime says that it's 70 Canadian, so about $50 US dollars. So,
well, okay, so at that point, like maybe a Voyager, but that feels like it's almost pushing it for a collaborative.
Yeah.
Yeah. A thing on the list that just kind of got my attention is there's a listing for a deluxe Dev Optimus Prime. And I'm kind of hoping that would be a new deluxe G1 style Optimus Prime with Devastation cell shading. I would be perfectly fine with one of those.
Interesting idea.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have like any kind of information about what that prefix actually is supposed to mean.
I don't think we do. So, but that Dev is, that's the only Dev I can
think
of. So
that's part of the A level line, which is supposed to be that like, where they're having core characters in an always available format.
Ah, okay.
The other thing that's in A level on this list is TF1 B127, so Bumblebee from the upcoming prequel movie. So that Dev must relate to something like Devastation seems like a good guess on that if it's a fiction prefix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that wouldn't be the worst plan to do a cell shaded one for that line. That would be pretty striking on the shelf.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
you may have cracked something there, Rob. Good job.
Here's hoping.
Anything Devastation would have to be cell shaded. So
Mhm.
I bring it. I love my cell shaded figures.
I want a shell shaded Turtles Party
Shell-
Wagon.
Shell shaded, yeah.
Shell shaded.
So also on the list is the thing everybody kind of called happening is leader Ape Link from Rise of the Beasts.
Repaint?
Probably a slight retool.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, to say any of those characters would be repainted would be to admit that they had colors on them to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other thing is we have some updates on the Mayhem capsule, which was going to be for Amazon, I think. So we knew we had the Bludgeon and Ruckus 2-pack coming. We're getting Chop Shop and Barrage as another 2-pack. And the third 2-pack is going to be Knockout and Windsweeper. So 2 more of the deluxe Insecticons, and I guess some kind of a redeco of Legacy Knockout. We don't really know anything more about that.
Deco Beetle knows more than likely.
I didn't quite catch that.
Needle nose.
Oh, Needle, yeah.
Yeah,
Nose,
Windsweeper, needle nose.
Yeah. No, I was talking about like the whatever they're gonna do with the Knockout. We probably like we don't really have any kind of clue what difference that's gonna have from the Legacy version that was released. Yeah, I agree. Windsweeper probably will be a needle nose retool. That makes the most sense. And then Ruckus, like we talked about before, is very likely to be a retool of Beachcomber. So I think when this was presented originally, there was also talk of like a 3-pack or something that was apparently mixed up from another set of listings. So that's not actually part of the Mayhem capsule here. It seems to just be these 3 2-packs that we just talked about.
So what's our latest update on Omega Prime?
Yes. Well, I checked on this just before the show.
And I've been updating it randomly ever since.
So we're at 14,875 backers. For
876. Sorry.
Okay, 14,876 backers. For diecast reference, that's 4,876 backers more than was needed to just meet the funding goal.
Good.
Yeah, and 1,876 more than was needed for the first stretch goal.
Yeah, we've unlocked the Master Sword. And we're just under 1,000 away from getting the, or no, we're just under, no, it is 16,000. We're just under 1,000 away from getting the stands that some people are really excited for, and some of us are extremely indifferent toward.
Yeah,
But I mean, there's still 3 weeks on this, so this is absolutely proceeding apace, and I don't think there's going to be any question that it's going to surpass all the unlocked tiers. And like I had predicted this was going to hit 20,000. I still feel really confident that we're going to hit at least that number by the time this ends.
What's the top? What's the highest? Not grossing, but the top
the highest backer number?
Yeah.
Galactus.
No, for Transformers.
Death Source.
Yeah.
19,000?
23 something.
Yeah.
I believe. Or 23 or 26. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know that this is going to do Death Source numbers.
I think it will.
I would say it would probably beat it. I don't want it to,
Ness
but I would say
28.5.
Okay. See, I feel like Death Source got an advantage because Victory Saber existed beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So more people were inclined to get that to have the rivals set up there. This existing essentially in a vacuum. Like, I don't think there's quite as much drive for the extra backer push, but I don't think 20,000 is any problem for this to hit the way it's going.
Death Source was 27,442.
So what I think this has going for it, nostalgia. It's two toys.
Mm-hmm.
Tax season. So those
yes, brilliant move, Hasbro.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, if you could have did this a year later and actually did something that was related to the 40th anniversary, that would have been great. But
Diecast is related to the 40th anniversary. It's the celebration of the line, not of just G1.
I can't believe we're having this conversation for the 3rd week in a row.
Is 40 years old. If it would, It's not G. Actually, I was going to say it's not G1 every year, but it is. That's where we live. That's where we are now.
So why would you deviate?
Because diecast, it's the same reason that there's a Mother's Day and a Father's Day, but there's not a Children's Day. Every day is Children's Day.
Every day is Children's Day.
Give the parents a break.
Brian, there's one thing I wanted to bring up, a thought that I
Please.
had, if I could.
How many
Thank you.
Cheetors you want?
No, none. We did get painted mock-ups of the figures revealed, and I find it interesting that they included Titan Master capabilities on a toy that is several years removed from Titan Masters even being a thing.
So you have to explain what's going on because I've missed.
Okay,
this.
I'm sorry.
My house is a COVID den right now. Everybody has it, and so
Okay.
I have been 100% wrapped up with sick kids.
Sorry. When they were going through the video showing off the painted samples from Takara Tomy for Optimus Prime and Ultra Magnus, I don't know. I have trouble remembering names. One of the designers brought Briscoe. Evan, thank you. Evan brought his Briscoe from his G1 Fangry and showed that there was Titan Master
I
capability.
don't think it was his G1 Fangry. I think it was the
the
recent one from the Buzzworthy pack.
Yeah, if it
Okay.
was G1 Fangry, it wouldn't be Titan Master compatibility at that point.
Headmaster
Okay,
compatibility.
sorry, my fault. But I'm just saying, why would you build in those Titan Master capabilities?
So in what sense did it have Titan Master compatibility though, Don?
It's just that the bucket and the seat at the base of the bucket are large enough to fit a Titan Master.
Right, but I'm
okay.
just saying they made it a point to point that out.
Because it's fun.
Yes, if I could finish diecast, but also
I wish you would finish diecast some days.
But the thing is, why make it a point to show that on a toy pattern that hasn't been relevant for several years, unless they're going to include Titan Masters in this, like they included the Micro Masters in with Victory Saber and Deathosaurus, and it could be Tai, it could be Koji, it could be. I'm just saying they were showing that off as a hint.
If Grid 2001 is remembered for anything, it's for its Titan Master character.
Yeah. So how many toys have had Minicon ports after like Minicons were no longer a thing?
Lots.
Well,
Not enough.
Not enough. But
yeah, that's the correct answer. Thank you.
But it's non-zero answer.
Yeah.
So
also, I mean, just for the compatible with out of circulation play patterns, doesn't Siege Omega Supreme work with the various like Titans Return cities?
I think he has two kinds of ramp ports on him, yes.
Yeah, like that's right. Yeah, he is like the big adapter that works between the Titans Return and the Siege.
Yeah, it was really considered the designers to give us an adapter between the old and the newer style ramp systems that only cost $180 each.
Yeah. Now that's
I'm
why
just
that's why I
saying-
need to get Omega Guardian. I need more adapters.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
just saying.
fun. That's what it is. I mean,
got-
if you're saying they have a hidden agenda and they're gonna release Titan Masters in with this, I don't think that's the case, or they would have just came out and said that.
Yeah,
No,
like
they
They
didn't
have
say
a surprise
there
skull.
is room to hope. Don is not
Yes.
wrong. There is room to hope, and if Don turns out to be right, it's not going to be a huge shock. But like, I am not set on that's going to happen, because I think you are right. I think diecast is right. It's fun, and that's the reason.
Yeah, the thing to remember, this is a HasLab project. This is not a general retail toy. This is made specifically with the idea that people have been collecting these toys, have been doing so for at least as long as Generations has been going in the modern age. And they're going to have little figures like Titan Masters, and there's going to be hollow spaces in parts like the ladder bucket and stuff anyway, so they might as well have that there and be adapted to the size where if you have those little figures still floating around, you want to do something interesting and have, a little attendant or a little, someone in the bucket being raised up, you can put a Titan Master in there. Or if you have similarly sized minifigures from other brands like little Lego men, that probably fits in there too.
Probably
They
fit
just
a
can't say
mask
that on a
figure
stream.
you could probably fit a mask figure in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is probably
They're a little
just
bigger.
this could just be the designer amusing himself, like
Mhm,
like turning blue bolts into weapon.
Right.
But what
I'm
I
just
said-
saying it's a
Yes.
possibility.
Yes, I agree with
Yeah.
that. It is totally a possibility. It totally could happen. I'm leaning towards no, but if
Not a likelihood, but a possibility.
I'll be
Yeah.
pleasantly surprised, but not shocked if it does happen, because I think it is possible. I just don't think it is. That's a good observation, though, Don. I missed that. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
It was better than the recirculated conversation that we were about to start having. So thank you for that, Don.
Yeah. So Manny cares like a Titan Master reveal is possible. That's Don worthy. That is wonderful.
It is.
That is worthy. Yeah. Okay. So Mark Soda shoot for Legacy
Dawn's,
Silverbolt.
Dawn's rubbing off on our audience.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I guess I'm gonna get this. That looks nice.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna get two. I'm just dismayed that the more we see of this, the more evident it becomes that you really can't do the wings over the shoulders thing like, the original toy did and like was depicted in the show.
It needs more wings.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 more pairs.
Like just like larger wings.
Yeah, I know. No, I agree. The wing situation on this is sub ideal, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But it looks nice. His photos look great.
Yeah.
Good scale with Kingdom Black Arachnia.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they did say this was coming over to be released in the US.
It's part of Legacy United Wave 2.
Okay, because I think most of us have a pre-order for the overseas. Are we keeping that, do y'all think? Are we going to wait till it's released in the US? Because we
I'm
have been
confused. What are you talking about?
It's on
Okay.
Amazon Japan.
It's on Amazon Japan, and
yeah.
I'm wondering if there'll be a paint difference, since we have seen Takara going back in some cases, like with Earthspark, and there being small paint deco differences between Takara and Hasbro.
Yeah, but this isn't Earthspark.
It's
they don't do it
it's-
on anything they don't do it on any of the generations tag stuff
unless
anymore.
it's a special release.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not impossible, but I think it's a lot more likely that we would see a Beast Wars Again versus set with a upgraded Silverbolt in it down the line.
Yeah, I don't remember in the in Metals what Silverbolt's versus was, if there was one.
Was it
That's-
Rampage?
I want to
Oh,
say
it might have been.
I want to say
That makes the
Quick
most
Strike,
sense.
but
What, Rob?
I want to say Quick Strike, but I'm not sure why.
I don't have the set.
I think Quick Strike might have been with Transmetal Air Razor, actually.
Yeah, you may be right.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm checking eBay now.
I think Don actually has it right that it was Silverbolt versus Rampage.
Because in terms of context of the show, that makes the most sense.
And like Takara actually paid attention to that at that point in time. So
Was it because Depth Charge and Rampage would have been a higher price point?
it's because Depth Charge's toy wasn't out at the same time as Rampage's.
Ah.
And
It
because of Transmutate.
It is in fact Silverbolt versus Rampage.
I don't
But-
I don't have Rampage. I sold mine years ago. I need to correct that.
Yeah, just be mindful as you shop for one, because
Yeah.
the chrome's a
Okay,
thing and those rubber tank treads are a thing.
Yep. I'll probably get a boxed one.
And never touch. Seal
touch
it in a vacuum and never touch it.
Yep, I'll put a sheet over top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of those toys, like Transmetal 2 Scourge, it don't matter if you never open it. That's just gonna shed all its chrome in the package just with the passage of time.
Yeah.
It's a real pity too. That was a great toy.
Yeah.
Time is the fire in which it burns.
Yeah, almost literally in this case. But no, to answer Don's question, I don't expect there's going to be any kind of deco differences. It's just a weird quirk of things that Takara put their solicitation for that toy up before Hasbro officially announced it. Like, that's not usually the order of things, but it is how it worked out this time. And from the way things seem, the Hasbro and Takara ones may come out virtually simultaneously, which is also extremely unusual.
Oh, we have stock photos of Gamer Edition Sideswipe for the listener out there that cares.
Oh, good. It's not just me.
It's not just me. God, it's just the most boring looking toy I've ever seen.
It is. It's very boring looking.
Yeah, I absolutely can't be asked.
Yeah, just not doing much anything for me either, especially since it doesn't come with the gigantic cool gun that the original one
Yeah.
did.
Yep, that Path Blaster was like the greatest thing, and I have no idea where mine ever got to.
So something that I'm torn on, I'm actually not that torn on it, is this Bradford Exchange Transformers wall clock.
Well, are you torn on it knowing that it's $200? Let's start with
The
that.
price doesn't bother me so much.
I'm so sorry to hear that, Brian.
I mean, depending if it's a nice clock, clocks are,
I will give a little spoiler for the most recent episode of There Goes My Money. We had a great conversation when we were talking about this, about all the things that this clock could have been but isn't.
Yes. I don't like the design choices. Like it's this weird, like, I don't know like what it's going for. It's got this Megatron that looks like, I guess it's trying to go for something cartoon accurate, but it's got the toy aesthetic with the legs.
Mm-hmm.
It's got these generic looking G1 designs for everybody else. The face of the clock itself, it looks like it was like, the cheapest of the cheap early 2000s Transformers memorabilia.
It looks like a 1980s party plate.
So like the price of this does bother me, but like if it was a really nice clock at $200 and it like I would not balk at an expensive but really nice looking piece of wall art. This is not that.
I will say though, the one thing I like about the visual design sense on this is actually the Megatron. I like that they tried to go for a fusion of cartoon and toy, kind of bring together the best details of both.
Meanwhile, Soundwave is just a little bit dreamwavy in the chest, I feel like, and it's just not landing for me.
Yes.
So where did this whole really thick border around the window come from? That's like the
Dreamwave.
So that's Dreamwave, okay. Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, and that was repeated in things like the 6-inch Titanium's toy.
Yes, that's I knew there was a toy that featured that.
Yeah, and a lot of the
Toys.
Titanium stuff was based on Dreamwave art. Like that was, what they used for control art designing those Titaniums figures, which, if you think about it, explains a lot of what went wrong with the 6-inch Titaniums.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to age myself here by mentioning someone doesn't exist anymore, but this is like something I would walk into Tinderbox and look at their collectibles section where I got a lot of my. It was a store in the mall. They sold mostly pipe tobacco and cigars, but they also had a collectible section for plates and things like that. I got several of my Hamilton collection Star Trek plates there.
Did they also have an adult section behind a curtain?
No. They had a
okay.
No, not Tinderbox.
Yeah, and that looked like something I would walk in. You would see in the early '90s in a high end store like Tinderbox, like a collectible. Like they would have silver plates and humidors and a lot of oddball things like that.
Are you describing like JR? Don, did you ever go into JR?
I've never been in one. It's just a place they're in every mall at the time, like Hungate's used to be.
Did anybody else have a Chesapeake knife and tool? Because this just strikes me as the kind of thing you might find in one of those.
Probably very similar, Rob, because I remember seeing one of those a long time ago at a mall I didn't normally go to, and then they were gone the next time I was there.
Listening to you people,
I just see Don going online and going to Tinder and being like, they don't have plates on here. What's going on?
Listening to you people talk about these places, just like, I can't decide if I believe any of you or if you're just sitting here making up names and words just to see what sticks.
I still dream I'm in Caldor sometimes.
Don't we all?
I really, really wanted this clock at first glance.
Then we talked about it too much.
Then we talked about it too much. And I see all the flaws in it. And There Goes My Money. We basically in
don't
5
give
minutes,
it all away, but
no, I'm not.
Okay.
But we basically in 5 minutes brainstormed the best Transformers clock ever.
Yes.
And the thing is, this is like a fourth of a Unicron lamp. Why wouldn't you get that instead?
Okay. I mean, here, that's a toss-up, though. Do we think this is more tasteful than the Unicron lamp? I'm kind of leaning toward yes.
Maybe a little.
It's a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Like, I certainly appreciate that Unicron lamp for what it was, but that was a tacky piece of crap in any objective sense.
Yeah. Hey,
And
but
I have 4 on my watch list.
Oh, yeah.
And
So-
I legitimately, Don, I hope you actually are able to get one day, because I know that just spoke to you so much. I really hope you can get one.
But something
Did I ever tell you that I actually bought one off of eBay and the seller contacted me back and like it was damaged in the warehouse and they refunded my money?
Yeah, you mentioned
And I
that.
never got it and I was so disappointed.
I was hoping you were going to say that the seller contacted you and said, "Is this for Don?" And you said yes, and they were like, "Well, I can't give it to you."
Okay, now that Chris has taken your show, Diecast, your next show needs to be "Here Comes My Money" about stuff you tried to buy but couldn't.
That's fine.
See, I thought you were going to suggest that since I've taken his show, he needs to do the revival of Superhero Time. Okay, Brian, you've been trying for like a minute and a half
But,
here
you
to
know,
segue.
what you can get right now though is this Optimus Prime Kush ball
There's a Bumblebee
and
also.
a Bumblebee one, but like on Amazon, I don't know if there's the Bumblebee available, but the Optimus Prime is available. Actually, they're all. It looks like you can get both. Going to tfradio.net/Kush, KOOSH. There's a Bumblebee, there's a Darth Vader, there's a Baby Yoda, there's a Stormtrooper, Mandalorian, there's a T-Rex. There's a ton of these things, but you can get it by going to tfradio.net/Kush.
Yeah, I mean, everything I did with a Kush ball as a kid was, tossing it in the air, throwing it at people, hitting it with a wiffle bat. This, when you put a head and hands into it, it doesn't really suit that purpose anymore.
It's desk fodder.
Yeah, I'm hoping that though that now that you mention it, yeah, that the head and hands are maybe a softer plastic, like something in the Nerf range, just so some kid is going to get one of these and throw it at their older sibling, and I specify older sibling because of reasons, and they're and it could hurt. So yeah, hoping that is like softer, nerfier stuff, the arms and legs.
Yeah, it's still gonna hurt. It's still not like this is like exactly what you wouldn't want to do to a Kush ball to me. But like Brian said, if it's desk fodder, then fine. But
go ahead.
No, go please.
I was just gonna say, I think that's why the arms are situated the way they are. Is like so it has basically a tripod base to sit on and display the faces correctly.
Yeah, I don't even know that this would be fun to toss in the air by yourself.
No, it wouldn't.
But like at work, like I need to fidget with things, and I love the feel of Kush balls. So like I'll hold it in my hand and just
that should be the show title. I love the feel of Kush balls.
Yes, it's like just like things like that help center me. I also keep a jar, a cup of Play-Doh at my desk that I can open up and just sniff because it like brings me peace.
My wife does
that.
the Play-Doh thing, but she doesn't sniff it. She just takes it out and messes with it like a fidget toy.
I love the smell of Play-Doh.
I legitimately think they actually made scented candles with that smell.
They made a perfume a while back
That's
that
awesome.
was Play-Doh scented, yes.
But
nice. the one thing, Brian, about these Kush balls, it may be the closest you get to the Transformers Weebles, which is not saying much, but it could be as close as you're going to get.
It's not far off, sort of.
One idea we had is they should have made a Unicron one.
Yeah, there needs to be one.
Yes.
There will be a free comic book day issue of Skybound's Transformers comic that is in May, usually?
Usually the first weekend of May, yeah.
First Saturday in May.
That's cool. I'll actually have a Transformers comic.
Yeah.
Right.
If I am not doing anything on that day and I can go to the comic store.
I have a
So sometimes comic stores will have leftovers of those and we'll still give them away after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your mileage may vary.
Since I'm pretty sure they have to pay for the stuff, they may charge you for it just as much. So
they might.
Yeah. Hasbro applies for Transformers-related trademark on Void Rivals in the toy space.
Yeah.
Oh, good, because that's what we need is another Transformers line.
Yeah.
That to me screams like SDCC exclusive, frankly. But
well, it also might just scream like sitting on the registration just to cover themselves from anyone trying to come in from the side on this.
Yeah.
We've seen them do that a bunch.
Oh yeah.
You know, all they really have to do to, if this gets approved and like to protect it, all they really need to do is like put Void Rivals trade dress on a toy they were going to make anyway, and that basically satisfies their obligations, and they
Mhm.
get the trademark protections.
Sort of like what they did with the Transformers Collectors Club, just like on the bottom. I mean, they were promoting it, but there was usually a small little blurb somewhere on the back or the bottom. You know,
I mean, another example from many more years back is Machine Robo Rescue, where Hasbro hijacked that out from under Bandai America, and then put that wording on like two Transformers Universe toys just to stop Bandai from being able to import the very popular in Japan Machine Robo Rescue toy line, which was related to like Mugenbein and stuff for people who remember that far back. From what I heard from someone who worked for or with Bandai at that time, a lot of people in Bandai were extremely displeased when those toys appeared on shelves.
I bet.
Yeah.
But yeah, just for example, if they were to put just like a badge on Generations figures boxes that said like as seen in the hit Skybound comic Void Rivals, would that pretty much serve the purpose they needed?
Probably enough. You know,
Okay.
they just need to show basically a good faith use of this where like they can take that to court if it comes down to that and be like, you know, we've got this and this, you know, going back to this date,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Or
this
they
this
could
is
fold it into studio series stuff, I
yeah,
suppose.
no, they absolutely could.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking of like the minimalistic approach here that doesn't result in getting another toy line, but like that is absolutely another way to go with that. There certainly is a unique enough visual style in the Skybound comics character designs. And we've talked before many a time that, you know, IDW characters could go into studio series for, you know, the way they look specifically. Like there's a lot of different ways they could iterate studio series, and Void Rivals, Skybound comic stuff like that is just as equally a measure that they could take, and this trademark could lead in that direction.
Cool. Okay. Let's jump to what we got this week. Chris, did you get anything Transformers
I
related?
did.
What did you get?
So remember how Legacy, whatever last year, whatever 2023's Legacy subline was, what the heck was that? This year's United. What was the subtitle of last year's Legacy?
It's
This
just
is driving me
Legacy.
nuts. Was it?
Legacy was its own thing.
I thought
Was
it was Evolution.
It was
Evolution?
Legacy
Yeah.
It was wait.
Evolution.
Yeah.
So it was Legacy, then Legacy Evolution, and now Legacy.
And now
United.
Legacy
Now
United,
Legacy
yeah.
United.
Okay.
Yes.
So okay. Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the point though, remember how Wave 3 of Legacy Evolution, thank you, consisting of Beachcomber, DevCon, and Axlegrease was kind of hard to get if you didn't pre-order them the day they went up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have Beachcomber, which I'm meh on, and I have DevCon, which I love. I pre-ordered both of those. At the time, I didn't really care about getting Axlegrease right away because, like, I mean, you know, it was all right. It wasn't junky on colors or anything, though. And I figured, you know, I'll just pick it up at some later point. That later point never really materialized because you never could find this wave on store shelves anywhere. It kind of came and went like immediately on Amazon. I don't think I ever really saw Axlegrease in stock, certainly not at retail on Amazon. So I thought, like, okay, I guess I kind of missed the boat on that. That's sort of unfortunate. Then a couple weeks ago, I saw Rob on Blue Sky talking to a couple of people who had, in their way, missed the boat on DevCon and/or Beachcomber, and he was suggesting his new favorite store, Surugaya,
Mm-hmm.
as a place to potentially find those toys. And just for the first time ever, it clicked. You know, I could look on there for Axlegrease. It's Thursday. Shipping is free starting today. So sure enough, I went on there and it was trivially simple to find Axlegrease in stock. And thanks to a combination of that free shipping weekend promotion and the exchange rate, I actually got the Takara release of Legacy Axlegrease for literally exactly the same as I would have paid for it if I had gotten it off of Amazon like 8 months earlier. So they don't do DHL shipping from Surugaya anymore, apparently. This came express mail, so it took about 2 weeks to get here. I got it in yesterday. Yep, no, I got it on Monday. I got it on the postal holiday because it was express mail. So I mean, some grades of mail, they just don't let those poor mail carriers sleep.
Mhm.
So, after going through that whole process and everything, I opened Axlegrease and discovered this is terrible. It is absolutely hands down the worst of the deluxe Junkions.
So sad.
And it's not even anything to do with the design work on it. It's just a matter of like most of the joints feel like weirdly gummy. There's not like any solidity to them. It's not like floppy or anything. It's just everything feels a little bit weird and wrong. The back into the vehicle mode won't quite settle in and tab down the way it's supposed to. There's like big panel gaps on it. Um, it's of course a retool of the scrap hook mold family, so it still does the thing where if you try to use the bicep swivel, you just tear you tear the forearm off at that friction hinge. That's never gonna get any better. But yeah, like it's the saddest thing that like after all that time and buildup and the thrill of finding this for literally US retail price from Japan, that the QC or whatever on this just ended up being so bad that I don't really like it at all because I love the retooling they did on this. Like the way they changed this from a tow truck into a car actually works so incredibly well. So like the back end, instead of having the tow arm on it, there's two new blaster pieces that tab together and fit down and basically make like the sloped back roof of the car and like some little booster pieces down the middle. But like it's so successful at changing the silhouette of the vehicle mode. I'm really impressed with how easy and simple that was for them to do. And then I like the little touches, like the engine block blasters from Scrap Hook. They changed those to be a completely different style of engine for Axlegrease. It looks great like that. It still comes with the hook piece from Scrap Hook, which is not the greatest choice because there's not a good place for that to go on here at all. And like if you don't look at this as a Junkion, I love the colors. The colors pop, they read really well, they're a good match together. Like everything about this visually and conceptually, I like a lot. But this toy just feels so terrible to do anything with. I hate it.
So on mine, I don't notice any of the joint stuff. You must have just got like a really bad copy. Except for the forearms ripping off.
Yeah.
That's just endemic to the mold. Mine's
Yeah.
actually fine. As far as the hook goes, I stuck it in one of the blasters and pulled one of the hands off and attached the
Oh, okay.
blaster at the wrist and gave it a hook hand.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So, there are options for that.
Yeah.
Um,
I was
really
thinking in the
like.
vehicle mode, there's not a good place for the hook to
Oh
go.
yeah. Oh yeah. No, no. I love the head on it.
Yeah.
All the remolding, but the thing that gets me is it's not in the Junkion colors. So what do I do with it?
Yeah. I mean, for the experience I had with this, again, visually, conceptually, I like this enough. I would really want to see them run this exact mold again in actual Junkion colors as a different character.
That's why I've been asking for Junkion troop builders.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, just do it in Junkion colors and call it Nancy. It's fine. We'll take that.
Yes.
That'd work.
But yeah, great in concept, great visually. It's just not fun to pose and not really fun to transform. So it's more of a miss than a hit, unfortunately. But that's all I got this week.
Cool. Rob, did you get anything?
Yeah, I actually got more than one on-topic thing, believe it or not. I also, in fact, after hooking those folks up with links to DevCon and Beachcomber on Surugaya, got Beachcomber off of Surugaya because I had been putting it off, and it's like I'm going to have a hard time with this if I don't get it now. Unfortunately, like Chris, I am also kind of meh on it. I like the robot mode. It's a good robot mode. It looks good. It feels good. Just something about transforming it doesn't feel particularly good to me. It's not a particularly complex transformation, but getting the arms into position just never feels easy. And getting the roll cage put together just not always great either. Also, just I know it's a stupid little thing, but just they use the roll cage and the seats as basically the back end of Beachcomber's feet, and it the way it folds up, it just looks like he's got random junk stuck in the back of his shoes. It just does not work for me aesthetically. So far, I have not lost the tiny bird. We'll see how that goes. But I'm basically leaving him in robot mode because I feel like it just fits better on that than it does as the Dune Buggy. So the other thing I got is since Chris was saying I better get it while I can again last week, I went ahead and got the Troop Builder pack from Target while it was still in stock, and that is just fantastic. That is.
Did you pay full price? What was the?
I did. I think
Okay.
after tax, it was about $80.
Okay.
So
It's worth it.
yeah, it is. $20 a piece for deluxes is sadly not bad at the moment, and also they're well, 3 deluxes and a Voyager, of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's even better. My favorite's gonna have to be the G2 Trooper, just because I really liked Skullgrin as a mold to begin with, and just it's another G2 comic character that I never expected to see as a toy. So that's just that warms my heart. I love that. It's a great figure, and just just really nice. The Auto Trooper, I like the head designs on those. I like the Siege Ironhide mold. I'm happy they were identified as animated, so I still do not own any Kiss Players toys. And yeah, just nice. It's the Siege mold, and unfortunately, I feel like the generic Seeker starting to just show their age a little bit in terms of joint tolerances and things in this set, but I really do like them. The Seeker, definitely when you have it in hand, is not going to be confused with Thundercracker. It's much more of a man. Thinking back to my box of crayons, it's more of a periwinkle blue. And the Alicon, I put the Alicon head on that Quintesson Trooper figure just because I really liked the band of metallic teal around the helmet. Just that really, I like that when they did that all the way back in I want to say it was like the All Spark Power recolors of the first Transformers movie toys. That's just a color I have. Well, also, and Scourge. So it's just a color I've always liked. So so I really like the look of that. I'm gonna have to figure out where to store the extra heads. I have no idea whatsoever. I do have some empty Gundam chocolate tins. I can put those in at least. But yeah, that's everything I got on topic this week. And I'd say of the 5, Beachcomber was probably just the weakest in terms of how much I like them overall, but it's still not a bad toy. It's just little bits of it that just don't quite work for me.
Cool. Matt, not forgetting you this week.
Oh, how nice. So I haven't gotten things in many weeks because I've searched and searched and searched here, and just nobody ever puts anything on their shelves. So today I jumped in the car, drove an hour and a half down the interstate to Morgantown, and 1 Target, 2 Walmarts, a GameStop, and a Ross Later, and I still couldn't find anything.
Wow.
So nothing on topic this week. Sorry, Transformers design team. I'm trying. I really am. But if they don't put stuff on shelves, I can't buy it.
Sad. Okay. Don?
Yes. Got one set of things on topic. Christy and I took a little weekend trip last week to a town, Lynchburg, where Liberty University is at, just for those of you who aren't from this region, and went to a collectible shop while we were up there, called Secondhand Heroes, and a lot of current stuff, a lot of older stuff, like lots of Toy Biz, 90s Toy Biz stuff, just a random selection of things. And I look up, and they've got peg hooks along the top running around the store, and I look up, and there's a complete set of Robots in Disguise 2000 Combaticons.
Nice.
And
That's cool.
so yeah, so I look at it, and he wants 150 for the set, and he has 7. He has 1 complete set, and then a couple of extra armor hides and movors. So I asked him, what's your bottom dollar? And he said, well, what's your offer? I said, will you take 100 for the set? He said yes.
Nice.
So I got
It's
a
worth
complete
100
set.
Worth $100.
Yeah.
I got a complete set of individually carded Robots in Disguise 2001 Combaticons.
Nice.
So I'm very, very happy with that purchase. I went through and got the best cards of the ones they did have duplicates. You know, there's little as you can tell if you watch
Yeah,
video,
edges are a little rough. Yeah.
edges are a
Yeah.
little rough. But I mean, for toys that are almost 25 years old at this point,
Yeah.
I am extremely happy on getting a complete Ruination set.
They have the amount of shelfware they should have for being that age. They look like
Right.
they look like they went through the passage of time. And like I've talked about before, we talked about like really old vintage stuff. Like you want some of that on there just to prove that these are what they are.
Yeah. So
Also, I've got to say, like, it's an audio podcast. If anybody has not had the experience of seeing carded Robots in Disguise 2001 toys, go find some pictures of those. They were very unusual, very distinctive. I love the package design for the carded Robots in Disguise 2001 stuff. Like it was very striking on the shelves. Bright colors, the horizontal layout of the deluxe packages especially like just really popped. It was a great time for like innovative packaging design.
right, and now that I have some time tonight, I will post pictures on my Twitter probably later after the show's over because I haven't had a chance to do it. I do want to post a few pictures anyway of the set. But yeah, I figured for $100, that's basically $20 a piece for 4 small limb arms and then Mega Octane. So I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, Don, I think you got a good deal on that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. For again, like Matt, not for lack of trying, I stopped by Target, Walmart, I said Radio Shack, GameStop. I couldn't find anything else on topic anyway.
When the
That-
distribution is so bad, you have to resort to time travel.
Yeah, that'd be the weirdest alternate universe where Radio Shack was the brand that like won out in the electronics retailer war.
Well, I need to stop in and get my free battery for the month. So
Cool. Anything else, Don?
no, not on topic. No.
Diecast?
Wait. Before Diecast starts, I just had the greatest idea. So if off-topic stuff is ham sandwiches, can we call the on-topic section the kosher toys?
Oh, that's perfect.
Go ahead, Diecast. Thank you.
I got nothing.
So I got this, and I'm curious. Like, I think Don will like it. And I don't know if Matt will like it or not. And I think Diecast, once he understands what it is, he'll like it. I was talking about this with Rob and Chris in pre-show. I sort of gave them a spoiler. It's the 2009 Million Publishing Skids and Screech Quantum Operative set.
Of course, I love that. I have one.
Okay, cool. So it is Skids and the crosscut modified mold is Screech. So it's the G1 toy. I mean, crosscut was a retool of a G1 toy. In the Skids and Mud Flap from the 2009
Revenge of the
Fallen, the worst Transformers movie.
Yeah.
The worst
Hands
characters in the worst Transformers movie.
Yeah,
Yep.
that goes. But it's G1 toys. And I've got Skids, but I didn't have these versions in Revenge of the Fallen colors. So I think Diecast would like that.
Always like that packaging too. It's a very striking packaging
Yes,
too.
Yeah.
putting those colors on G1 toys saved them. So.
Yeah.
And that
Yes.
toy is 15 years old because it has a 25-year anniversary on it. I saw in the corner.
Well, yes, and it was released following Revenge of the Fallen, which was the 2009 movie, so it would be, up to 15 years old.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. So ham sandwiches again. That's the things that are off topic. I mean, the name goes back to an angry thing I was saying, like in pre-show one day about how we have too many things that are not Transformers in what we got this week. It's like, well, we're going to talk about ham sandwiches. Yeah, so this is ham sandwiches, and it's exclusive to patrons at patreon.com/tfradio. So it's where we talk about off-topic things. So I'm going to go in reverse order. Actually, no, if it's reverse order, I go first. I got my Eternia from Mattel Creations set this week.
Is it big, Brian?
It's ginormous. It is the like I don't remember how big the USS Flag box is. I think it's like that scale. It's like this. It's like the box for like a 65-inch TV, and it's
Well, you said you were looking to buy a house.
yeah, it's like 50 pounds. It's ginormous. I posted a picture on Twitter comparing, because I put them in storage, the Snake Mountain box from Origins with this, and it dwarfs the Snake Mountain box. It is absolutely huge, and eventually I will open it, unless I decide to sell it. But I can't ship it. It's too big to ship.
You know, I know it's not technically supposed to be the whole planet, but just given that it is the Eternia playset, I'd kind of like to see the box next to HasLab Unicrons.
I want to see the looks on the faces of the people in McKay's when you take that in.
Yeah, I know. McKay's wouldn't give me enough for it. So, Rob, you are in luck, because I'm pretty sure Unicron's box is in frame in my photo. So, I'll go and make sure it gets shared out again, because I'm pretty sure that is in there. Cool. Okay, so diecast, and no, Unicron is not in frame in the photo, so never mind.
I got
It's literally beside of it. It's literally just right out of frame. Yeah, go ahead.
I got nothing again.
What? Okay, that's
Well,
sad.
he's been traveling too much.
Yep.
That's true.
You got a really nice looking donut.
I mean, I think that donut looks a little overdone. It looks like a donut that you'd have to eat with a knife and fork, and that's just wrong.
I mean, there was an Oreo cookie on top.
Yes, there used to be an Oreo cookie on top of that diecast. Where did it go?
In my belly.
So, Blade in the chat said, "Is it bigger than your children?" Both my kids can fit in the box, for sure. So,
Not that he's tried.
exactly, Don.
I mean, he doesn't have to. They would do it themselves
Yes.
if given the chance.
They're like cats.
Well, I will be attending. There's a show in Richmond, Virginia called GalaxyCon that I will be attending with my very good friend Fred, who I've known for over 30 years at this point, at the end of March. And I have a couple of good shirts I want to wear for the show. Our Radio Free Cybertron shirt, my Peter Cullen as Optimus Prime, where he's doing the Superman pose with the
Your
Optimus.
service merchandise shirt?
Yeah, I'm going to wear that as well. But I wanted to get something special because it's the first comic book convention I've been to in a long time. And I got something that is one of my passions, as you know. I had this done online. It is a Visionaries shirt showing Cryotech's Power of Strength from the opening animation artwork done of that. And I have a applique I can put on the front. That's his bear totem. So I will be going representing my favorite character from Visionaries, Cryotech, to the show. So I'm very happy I picked that up.
That's kind of cool.
Stopped by a different collector store locally when we were on that trip. Didn't find much, but for $9 in a bargain bin, I got the Jessica Drew Spider-Woman from Marvel Legends. I thought that was a great looking figure for my Spider-Man shelf. And even though I have no desire to see the Flash movie and don't care about it, I always thought this version of Supergirl was very nice. Very good looking costume, very good head sculpt. So I picked those up for $9 a piece. That's still $25 in the stores when you find it, and she's still $20 to $23. So I thought that was a pretty good deal to go on my no theme shelves. Picked up a couple other figures. Picked up Batman as Green Lantern from the Batman and His Amazing Friends series by McFarlane. Because I have the Batman Sinestro, so that'll make a nice pair of figures. And I also picked up Wave 2 of, again, the McFarlane Batman the Animated Series figures, Wave 2, that you can build lock-up from the animated series, which I'll be putting up on eBay once I assemble them. But there's the Joker.
They even gave him his hat. That's nice.
Yeah, and the set includes Commissioner Gordon, which looks really nice. Robot Batman.
From Hardak.
Hardak, yes. And the Riddler. And the Riddler is especially nice. I really like the way
It's the best designed Riddler
Yeah.
basically ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the robot
yeah.
Batman is a callback to the death threats that we talked about earlier in Beast Machines, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Bob Skir wrote Heart of Steel or his Silicon
His
Soul
Silicon
or
Soul.
yeah.
And that is probably one of the best Commissioner Gordon's.
Oh, that is really nice, Don.
That is that. And the cool thing was, I got these. Target was running the spend 100 get 25 off, so I was able to use that on those figures as well. So really happy with that wave too. That all those figures look incredible. One thing I forgot, I was on topic, was I picked up Studio Series Bumblebee movie Rumble because I had a $5 Target gift card, so that made him like $5.
And you still feel ripped off?
Kinda, but at least he'll go nice with that Bumblebee movie Soundwave, kind of flesh out the set a little bit. And it's a good exercise in the way they did the compression to get him fit in the chest. So I have to give them props for that.
Do you though?
No, you
to
don't.
be nice.
You
To be
don't.
nice. To be nice. But yeah, that's all I got off topic this week.
Matt,
No, nothing.
Rob,
Along with Beachcomber, I got the latest issue of Gundam Ace from Suragaya. It's mostly focused on the new Gundam Seed movie, so not necessarily up my alley, but it's just nice to be able to afford to keep up with that magazine after wanting to for like 20 years. And that's it.
that's cool. Chris.
Thank you. No.
Okay. Want to thank our patrons at patreon.com/tfradio. Patrons of Radio Free Cybertron get an ad-free version of the show. Get it a day early, which doesn't mean 24 hours. It's the day before. Higher Bet Raid, a weekly Patreon exclusive pre-show podcast. Unedited episodes of RSC when it's warranted. Don, looking at you, dropping your heavy swears.
I'm looking at Diecast a little here now too.
You get the There Goes My Money podcast a week early. Patrons at the touch tier get to be on There Goes My Money. And that is recorded twice monthly. Chris just recorded the second episode of his run, which will be episode 47. I'm keeping the sequence from the original run.
Good.
Just easier to do numbers instead of dates.
Yeah.
And touch patrons get to be mentioned on the show each week and are listed at tfradio.net/credits. And we have an update here. It is Kevin Dorsey, Jacob Owen Lucia, Sean Bratton, Emmett Stresovich, Hector Bones, Jay Klein Rye, Joey Russell, Mike Armstrong, Rabbits, Rick Mahurin, Ryan Bona, Sean Hamilton, Sean Williamson, and Spider Bob. So thank you all so much. And if you want to be a patron at the touch tier and you want to be on There Goes My Money, or if you're already a patron at the touch tier and you want to be on, hit us up. We'll get you on. And again, one of the things that we have on our Patreon, like one feature of it was our Discord. We didn't have Discord before our Patreon. And they're like little Patreon things. There's like a Patreon channel on Discord, plus like you get like special colors and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I like the Patreon is great to have. I'm so thankful for our supporters. I love that our Discord server came out of that initiative though, because like our Discord server has been like the best thing.
Yeah,
like
so
I love our Discord community.
Yeah, me too. You know, I'm looking in our Discord right now, and you just noted a few minutes ago that you said I missed JD. I don't see what you're referencing.
Don referencing Brave Star.
Oh right, and we watched Brave Star at John DeLuna's house in 2012.
And yes, and it became a running joke.
Yeah,
yeah.
But it was like 10 years ago last week when JD passed.
Yeah.
So his mom asked me if we had mentioned it on the show, and I'm like, you know, we celebrate JD's memory in June each year.
Yeah, because we tend to want to celebrate JD's his life and his influence on us more than we want to commemorate the day that he passed.
But it's been 10 years. So,
yeah.
Crazy. Okay, so you can find all of our stuff at tfradio.net. Links to everything. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. We have live streams on YouTube, usually, of the show. which start right at 8 Eastern. We have like a 30-minute pre-show, which becomes a podcast for our patrons. And then we do the live stream of Radio Free Cybertron around 8:30 Eastern time every week. So that is a place you can find us. You can find me personally at briankilby.com, BrianKilby.com. I have my Happy Daily podcast and other things. I enjoy doing that. I've been trying to keep up with that lately. So that's been a nice little outlet for me. And I'm on Twitter at bkilby, at Blue Sky, at kilby.bsky.social, and a lot of different places. Rob Springer, not here. Robo-Rob Springer on Twitter, zonebase.org. John DeLuna, not here. At that John D, basically everywhere. Diecast is not at home, but he is here.
Diecast is basically everywhere. He's doing a lot of traveling these days.
This is true.
Yeah, I'm pretty exhausted. But yeah, I'll be at ZoloCon in Warminster on Saturday.
What
Warminster,
state is that in?
Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
Pennsylvania. I know. I did think for a second. I was like, oh, where am I going to be? But yeah, you can follow me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Diecast2, and you can like my Facebook page at Reviews by Diecast, and you can see my reviews on youtube.com/RFC Reviews.
Don.
Oh, I can be found on Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EBR. I am also now on Blue Sky at hmrc4ebr.bluesky.social. I am still remembering that's a thing for me now, so I am trying to use it more. So if you post something over there to my attention and I don't see it, I'm not ignoring you. I just forget I'm doing that now.
As soon as I get crap up to sell, so I can post it to Twitter, once that's gone, I'm deleting my Twitter.
Yeah, we'll see.
I want to delete my Twitter so bad.
How many years has Brian been talking about deleting his Twitter now?
Just one. We're 1 year in.
I've got my skeptical face on. No one can see it because I have my camera on.
It's like right at a year, a little over a year. Matt.
Melvar.bsky.social. That's with 3 L's and 2 R's.
Very cool. Rob.
I'm on Blue Sky at robflails.bsky.social. I'm on YouTube as Flailthroughs. I mostly cover Gundam games, which normally is just Gundam Battle Operation 2, but this very day, Bandai Namco Entertainment announced Gundam Breaker 4. So I have a video up about that announcement and a little bit of advance information they were nice enough as to give me. And you can check that out over at youtube.com/flailthroughs. And if you want to support me, patreon.com/flailthroughs, or you can just, send stuff if you are so inclined via tfradio.net/playlist.
Cool. Chris.
Well, you can largely find me in our Discord, tfradio.net/Discord. It's my favorite place to talk about Transformers and just my nerd fandom topics in general. We have all kinds of conversations. We have various channels, and I submitted to their peer pressure and made a separate channel for sports conversations because not everybody wants to see that. I sure don't care about sports, but we have a lot of people in there that are into that, and when stuff's going on, they want to talk about that. So we have a sports channel now. But yeah, check us out on Discord. It's a great community, great bunch of people over there. You can find me personally on Blue Sky at ChrisRTXV. You can find work I've done on the internet at playwithphotography.com, and I have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/ChrisList, which does the Amazon affiliate program thing and sends a little bit back to the show if you should choose to buy anything for me.
Cool. Okay, well, that's it. We will be back next week. Have a good one.
Take care.
Recording stopped.
Okay, people watching live, I'm sick. I'm going to kill the stream, and I need to ask Diecast something before he goes. So, we're going to go.
Good night, everybody.
So I'm going to kill Twitch first. Goodbye, Twitch. Bye. In the tubes of you Where's my link to kill the tubes of you? Here we go. YouTube, the name, I mean, it's such a brand, you can't get rid of it. But, like, the name doesn't really hold to much of the meaning anymore.
No.